Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and thank you for tuning in to Canal Algérie's nightly news. On January the 17th, here are the main stories. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, grants an official reception to the Congolese Foreign Affairs Minister, Francophonie and Congolese Abroad, Jean-Claude Gakoso. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, receives the Italian ambassador to Algeria, Giovanni Pugliese, who paid him a farewell visit at the end of his mission in our country. On the third and final day of his visit to the second military region, Army General Saïd Chingriha, the PNA Chief of Staff, inspects the aircraft manufacturing plant in Iran. Also tonight, the Foreign Affairs Minister calls on the non-aligned movement to back the Palestinian cause and reiterates Algeria's support during the 19th summit of the organization. Welcome back. We begin with tonight's major story where the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, granted an official reception to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Francophonie and Congolese Abroad, Jean-Claude Gakoso. Both the Principal Private Secretary to the Presidency of the Republic, Boualem Boualem, and the Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, Lounas Mokerman, were present during the meeting. Following the reception, the Foreign Minister of Congo, Brazzaville, stated the following.
I had the honor to be received by the President of the Republic. I had a message from President Denis Sassou Nguesso relating to an invitation to the President of the Republic to come to Brazzaville to take part in the summit of the heads of state of members countries of the African High-Level Committee for Libya. The Libyan file is a complicated one. Algeria knows better that Algeria is a central power in the region with long borders with that country. The African Union believes that it's useless to hold elections as long as there isn't the least national reconciliation. It has been working for that goal, leading to the negotiating table for a common consensus for peace and reconciliation. In an independent way, the Libyans have decided to hold a reconciliation conference on April the 28th, 2024. Ahead of this event, President Nguesso, heading the high-level committee comprising 10 countries. This is the gist of this meeting with the President of the Republic. We reviewed bilateral relations. There are good prospects between the two countries in the field of gas, hoping for a good cooperation between the two oil and gas companies. This is basically the objective of my presence here in Algeria.
Similarly, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received the Ambassador of the Italian Republic to Algeria, Giovanni Pugliese, who paid a farewell visit at the end of his mission. The meeting took place in the presence of the Principal Private Secretary to the Presidency of the Republic, Boualem Boualem. Here's a statement of the Italian Ambassador to Algeria in which he highlighted the depth of the exceptional bilateral relations between both countries.
J'ai eu une très longue rencontre très amicale avec le président de la République.
I had a long and friendly discussion with the President of the Republic. We assessed the 3 years I passed here as ambassador. It's very positive. Our relations have become stronger. In fact, they had always been strong, but we reached a higher level. We have a great potential. We are brotherly and friendly countries. We share the Mediterranean basin. We agree on a set of regional issues, including the Sahel, Libya and Tunisia. We have a common interest. I feel sad to leave this country to go to Austria, but at the same time I feel happy. I passed an intense period during which we obtained results at all levels. I'm grateful to the Algerian people and to the President of the Republic and the Algerian authorities.
Pour me rendre comme ambassadeur en Autriche, mais en même temps je suis très heureux d'avoir passé cette période très intense dans laquelle on a obtenu beaucoup de résultats à tout niveau, et donc je suis très reconnaissant aux Algériens, aux amis algériens, au président lui-même et toutes les autorités algériennes. Merci beaucoup.
On the third and final day of his visit to the second military region, Army General Said Chingriha, Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, visited the aircraft manufacturing plant in Iran. Ines Killu with a roundup of the visit.
After being welcomed by Major General Mohammed Al-Araba, Commander of the Air Forces, and in the presence of Major General Mohammed Tayyib Brakni, Commander of the 2nd Military Region, the Army General was given a comprehensive briefing by the Commander of the Air Forces on the missions, workshops and infrastructures, including production lines and repair workshops, as well as safety instructions. The Army General then visited the plant where he inspected the production lines and received detailed explanations from managers and technicians on the various prototypes manufactured at the plant, such as Safir 43-4-seater and Furnace 142 2-seater aircraft, before inspecting the repair workshops and other facilities.
يجدر بي في البداية التعبير عن سعادتي بهذا اللقاء العملي.
At the end of the visit, the Army General met the military and civilian personnel and delivered a speech to them in which he expressed his satisfaction at the meeting, which gave him the opportunity to visit and inspect this industrial establishment belonging to the 2nd Military Region, thus reflecting the interest he attaches to the permanent monitoring of the performance of the economic and production establishments belonging to the National People's Army.
والإنتاجية التابعة للجيش الوطني الشعبي. لقد حرصت كثيرا على زيارة هذه الوحدة الصناعية رائدة وطنيا.
He also praised the considerable efforts made by to fulfill the missions assigned in the field of aeronautical construction and repair. He said that these efforts would help strengthen the readiness of our armed forces and maintain their operations capabilities in the face of the various dangers and threats, as well as effectively combating any emergency situation wherever its nature or origin.
والمخاطر المحدقة والتصدي بالفعالية المطلوبة لأي طارئ مهما كان نوعه أو مصدره. وإذ أثمن كافة الإنجازات المحققة والأشواط المعتبرة التي تم قطعها حتى الآن في جميع مجالات النشاطات المبرمجة.
The Army General also hailed the considerable achievements and milestones reached in all the planned areas of activity and urged the managers and staff to make even greater efforts to achieve more qualitative results.
وعالية التكنولوجيا التي تتوفر عليها المؤسسة وفقا للشروط المطلوبة والمعايير المعمول بها في هذا المجال.
At the end of his speech, the Army General followed the presentations made by the personnel of the establishment and listened to their concerns and proposals, where he gave a series of recommendations and general guidelines to the attendees. And then the Army General proceeded to the signing of the guest book of the establishment and taking a souvenir photo with the personnel of this industrial establishment.
In a different context, the Premier Nadir Al-Arabawi chaired a cabinet meeting devoted to a set of files related to improving the governance of public financial control and implementation of the provisions of the law on public accounting rules and financial management meant to establish a new approach to controlling expenditures. The government also listened to a presentation on the installation of the 7 new administrative districts ordered by the President of the Republic to be created as an embodiment of his commitment to reform the regional organization and functioning of the local administration in line with the aspiration of citizens to bring the administration closer to them. The government also examined measures and arrangements taken to secure the provision of potable water to citizens. Lastly, the government reviewed the final stages of the completion of the Natural, Environmental and Recreational Development Project for Wad al-Harraj, a river expected to be delivered next month. Tasked by the President of the Republic, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, Ahmed Attaf, is in the Ugandan capital Kampala to take part in the ministerial meeting of the Non-Aligned Movement, which kicked off today under the slogan Deepening Cooperation for Shared Global Prosperity ahead of the 19th Summit of the Non-Aligned Movement. During his speech, Attaf shed light on the efforts of Algeria to give a new impetus to the active role of the non-aligned movement in the current international context and to work during its mandate at the Security Council to preserve the interests of the movement and the promotion of its objectives and initiatives. Here's our Foreign Minister, Ahmed Attaf.
Palestine is going through a period which we could describe as very delicate, very fragile. The Palestinian issue requires greater support from the non-aligned movement. Given its importance at global level, given the weight of the issues that we are seeing at the moment, our movement must therefore contribute to promoting diplomatic pressure so as to put an end to the war machine of Israel in the Gaza Strip.
The third edition of the Arab Media Conference kicked off on Wednesday in Tunisia. The event, organized by the Arab States Broadcasting Union under the slogan Media in the Era of Artificial Intelligence, Challenges and Opportunities. Our Minister of Communication has taken part alongside experts and professionals representing international organizations. Mohamed Lagab insisted on the need to keep pace with the fast development in the technology and information domains, notably in the era of challenges imposed by artificial intelligence. On to the operational report of the People's National Army's activity in the past week. In the context of the fight against terrorism, detachments of the People's National Army arrested 2 support elements to terrorist groups in Iran, while a terrorist group's hideout containing different items was discovered and destroyed in Buira. In the framework of the fight against organized crime and in continuation of the tireless efforts aimed at countering the scourge of drug trafficking in our country, combined detachments of the PNA intercepted in coordination with the different security services and operations across the military regions 47 drug traffickers and averted attempts to introduce 4 quintals and 15 kilograms of processed kief through the borders with Morocco, while over 644,000 psychotropic tablets were seized. In Tamras, Burj Baji Mukhtar, in Saleh and Elizi, detachments of the People's National Army arrested 113 individuals and seized 54 vehicles, 145 generators, 65 jackhammers, 4 metal detectors, 83 quintals of mixture of raw gold and stones, in addition to quantities of explosives, detonation tools, and other equipment used in illegal gold mining operations. On the other hand, 31 other individuals were arrested in 1 Kalashnikov submachine gun, 13 hunting rifles, 1 semi-automatic rifle, in addition to 129,000 liters of fuel, as well as 50 tons of foodstuffs intended for smuggling and speculation, and 58 quintals of tobacco, in addition to 6,606 units of various beverages were seized. Similarly, border guards thwarted at the level of our national coast attempts at illegal immigration and rescued 28 individuals aboard traditionally made boats, while 267 illegal immigrants of different nationalities were arrested across the national territory. To the Middle East now, and updates on the situation in Gaza. It has now been 103 days since the Zionist merciless attacks began and have even intensified this Wednesday in the center and north of Gaza, notably in Khan Yunis. Dozens of Palestinians were killed by bombings of the occupation. The Zionist forces are targeting hospitals with strikes around the Nasser hospital, while the communication blackouts threaten for the sixth day in a zone undergoing a genocide. And all of this has resulted in a catastrophic humanitarian situation, with UN agencies sounding the alarm to no avail. To the biggest continental sporting event, the African Cup of Nations, taking place in Côte d'Ivoire, which will hopefully be crowned with success, and so far so good. Algeria is convinced that this major event will consolidate the brotherly ties between African peoples, despite the vain attempts made tremendously to undermine this event. Midissa Kebash has the reactions of Algerians warmly welcomed there.
The African Cup of Nations is more than a mere sporting event. It is an opportunity to consolidate the already existing ties between the African peoples. This edition is held in a friendly country, Côte d'Ivoire. This African country succeeded in upgrading the fraternal ties between African peoples and gathered football lovers to celebrate this African mega sporting event. Algeria, which shares particular and profound ties with Côte d'Ivoire, is convinced that this edition will be crowned with success. We've been warmly welcomed. People here are very kind and hospitable. The atmosphere here in Côte d'Ivoire is awesome. People are very nice with us. We feel like if we are in our own country. The same atmosphere prevails on the Ivorian side.
Les Algériens sont super.
The Algerians are great. I knew that the Algerian people are nice, but seeing it in front of me is just amazing. We spent a great time together.
Vraiment, welcome to Algeria. Aquaba en Côte d'Ivoire. Allez.
Là, je suis en mode vraiment Algérie et
The Algerian people are great. We spent time with them and they are truly amazing.
Très ouverts et ils ont tout de suite en fait donné ce truc-là. Donc honnêtement, les Algériens sont super.
All those taking part in this important event are well aware that political life has no place on the pitch nor among the audience, despite the attempts made by one of our neighbors to sow division among African peoples, including the use of a video published by a so-called Algerian influencer already condemned by Algerians, especially those present in our brotherly country, Côte d'Ivoire. Both the Algerian and Ivorian peoples are aware of the historic relationship binding our two countries. Therefore, they continue to showcase an extraordinary image of fraternity and solidarity while celebrating this common footballing event, which promises to be grandiose.
And after these beautiful images, we give you the score of tonight's games. Morocco trounced Tanzania with 3-0 as part of Group F, while the second game between Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo ended in a 1-1 draw.
تقدير النتيجة ومكوبو في التوزيع الاسيست رائع جدا والهدف والتعديل دقيقتان بعد.
As for tomorrow, we have 3 thrilling games, as you see on the screen. Enjoy these games. As for tonight, that's all. Thank you for joining us and take care.